And we're going to hop into Ancient Cistern for map number 1. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner. He's looked like a monster so far today. Just absolutely crushing nerds left and right. We haven't seen him in a TVT, though. Shopify Rebellion. It's ByuN. His opponent in the lower left-hand corner. In the blue, representing Team NV. It's Cure. Cure just took down Hero. A very, very tough opponent. ByuN's like, TVT? How about Proxy 2 Rats? How about that? How you like them apples? I love this. I love a 2 racks in a TVT. Bit of cheek, a bit of cheese. Bit of early pressure here in game 1. And honestly, not where I'd expect the Proxy 2 racks. I feel like I would expect it over here for the Reapers to jump up into the base, but let us see. I feel like I've seen both of these guys play TVT recently, but I think I've seen both of them up against Maru recently, which is not really the best case for anybody. Maru's TVT is just insane. They've both had moments where they looked good against Maru, but Maru's just crushed them both more recently. So interested to see how it looks between these two. I think Cure is a bit more of a standard TVT player. I'm sure he knows how to chuck out his own Proxy 2 racks and things like that, but generally speaking, I expect him to play kind of by the book, you know, whereas ByuN, I feel like ByuN doesn't, like, nobody told him there was a book. So he's just created his own thing, whatever that is. And a lot of it is pretty standard. Like, he's got like plenty of standard builds up his sleeves, but he's absolutely got some crazy ones here. And Cure's about to scout this Proxy in the worst possible way with the Reaper outside the base. He was about to put down a base. I think he had to cancel anything at least. But this first SCV going to go down. I love that ByuN just jumped one Reaper up so that it could jump down very easily, but the low ground one could hit. Oh, and he's going to dive on top of this first Reaper. Gets it. Bops with a grenade, and a third Reaper shows up. This is going beautifully for ByuN so far. Excellent, excellent micro. It's exactly what we expect from him. Keeping all 3 Reapers alive. Bopping everybody with the little grenade. However, the factory finishes up, so the Hellion pops out. Reaper's going to jump around the left-hand side, forcing Cure to come over here. Oh, the Reaper grenades are so annoying to deal with. Reaper going to go down. There is a Marine out, though, for Cure. A little bit of extra DPS. Looks like 2 Reapers going to go down, and Cure got to be feeling pretty good about that as a second Hellion pops out. A second Marine pops out, and I think ByuN's just got to run out of here. Looks like he'll grab a Hellion. Oh, my God. Cure with the misclick there, I think. Focus down the only Reaper he wouldn't kill in one hit. And, yeah, ByuN still got 3 Reapers alive. Both of those Hellions died. Cure is still in a little bit of trouble here. He's got the CC finishing up in the main. ByuN put his down on the low ground, though. And it looks like ByuN's going to go straight for a Cyclone behind this. Cure's still forced to stay in his base and just try desperately to hold on. I don't think ByuN's going to be too aggressive with these. He might hop up one more time. Looks like he's going to go for the high ground vision with his barracks and send the other one home. But Cure's been forced to make more Hellions than he wanted to. A bunch of Marines without a tech lab or a reactor or anything on this barracks. Just getting enough units out to hold on against the Reapers. And it's kind of delayed everything for him. Whereas ByuN's starport is already done. It's building a tech lab for those Ravens. And ByuN CC is going to be done on the low ground and mining much sooner than Cure's. ByuN's actually ahead 5 workers. Looks like he killed, oh man, 7 SCVs. And then realized it was that dire. This is a very, very bad spot for Cure. He's certainly still alive, but with a Cyclone coming across the map now as well, and it's Siege Tank first from Cure, I'm a little bit worried for him. Oh, I love this from ByuN. Building the medevac off of the Tech Lab starport tells me that ByuN was just planning on going into standard play. But because he feels like he can win here, he's decided to just go for it. And he's building the medevac to put more pressure onto Cure. He kills all of these ground units. The siege tank going to siege up. ByuN is already out. He's already out. He kills all the units. He kills 3 SCVs, and he's like, all right, I don't want to overcommit. I got damage done. He keeps everything alive except 1 Reaper. 2nd Cyclone and the medevac are here. Oh, man. And Cure's going to drop the auto turret. ByuN just keeps going. He's going to go straight into the main. The Reapers can jump up here and join in on the fun, but the Cyclones are going to get so much damage done. They have a lot of damage potential. 4 more SCVs going down, and the worker count is so heavily in favor of ByuN right now. He's going to drop the Cyclones once more. Locks onto a Marine. The Raven does pull back. The Reaper's going to jump onto the siege tank. Oh my god, they're going for it. They're going for the siege tank. The grenades helping keep the SCVs away. In the meantime, the Cyclones are going to... One of them's going to die. The other one stays alive. 2 of the Reapers are still alive too. Oh man, now they're getting healed up. The Cyclone drops back out with 5 hit points. Cure is forced to tap out, and ByuN. I mean, that's it. It's such good play. It's such a good in-game decision to do something like that. I cannot stress enough how only the best players in the world can do that kind of shit. Like, he had a build follow-up. I know he did. I know that wasn't it. He had a full build follow-up. He was just going to go into Marine tank. I'm so sure of it. And he was planning on getting out a tank and a Raven. But he was doing good damage. So he built the Cyclone. Probably was going to do that anyways. But he built the 2nd Cyclone. And he built that medevac after building the tech lab. And that really just tells me that he was planning on going into standard macro play. But he changed it up because he thought he could at least get more damage done, if not win. And he was right. Oh, it's such a hard decision to make in game. It's so hard to have that presence of mind. But this guy has it. And that's why he's been a world champion. He's been a GSL champion. And he still to this day is one of the best players in the world. In the lower left-hand corner for the Shopify Rebellion, it's ByuN. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner for Team NV. Don't let that last game fool you. He has more than enough skill to take games and series here. It's Cure. And now it looks like we have a more standard macro opener. I say as ByuN sends a weird SCV. Oh, it's a scouting SCV. Looks like ByuN might go for a Reaper expand, though. So I say a standard opener, but ByuN definitely going for a little bit of a slightly bolder move, maybe counting on Cure not going for heavy early game aggression. Cure going to go for the much more standard. Again, Cure generally a more standard player. Factory before CC. He's got the double gas here. And yep, there's that early CC from ByuN. I would like to see a nice long macro game from these guys. I don't know if we're going to see it, because I feel like we're going to see some early game pressure, possibly and probably out of ByuN. Maybe like a relatively quick tank drop or something like that. But I don't know. We'll see. We might get into a nice mid game at least, because I think that's where Cure is going to have a much better chance. Obviously, if ByuN's being the aggressor, he's often in a very strong position. Now, this Reaper's going to pop over here. Both players going to lose the first SCV. Cure going to realize he's much further behind in building the CC, and that means it's a Reaper expand. Decides to leave. I guess he knows the Reaper's coming back, right? Reaper looking for the Reaper. The other Reaper trying to avoid the Reaper. Other Reaper coming in to help the Reaper against the Reaper. CC not quite gonna finish here. I mean, Cure should really just straight up win this fight. There's a Hellion coming out. Oh my god. ByuN kills a Reaper. CC not quite gonna finish. Oh, it does finish! Oh my god, and he saves the SCV! And he pulled it in, popped it out so the Hellion would shoot at it again. But pulled it back in so it lived, at least for the time being. And ByuN just buying a little bit of time. Oh my god, 2 Marines pop out at the perfect time. The Reaper will kill the Hellion. But another Hellion pops out for ByuN. Crazy, crazy back and forth here. But as we see, the trades relatively even, honestly. Like, it kind of goes back and forth. But because that CC finished, it is done before Cures. Cures up a couple of workers, though. And the difference in mining was basically nothing. The difference in the mules being able to drop maybe a little bit more significant. I love that ByuN drops the 2 mules from the CCs up on the high ground, just in case Cure comes back in with like a cyclone or something, and he has to evacuate the natural. Now he drops in the natural. He's gonna head across the map. The Hellion's actually gonna spot this. Kind of a weird little push here. Ooh, Cure's got a siege tank in that medevac. All right, battle for the ages. Cure, that's not fair. It was a battle for the ages. ByuN siege is up. Cure is like, oh, I'll just go around then. But there's a medevac here for ByuN as well, with 5 Marines in it. Oh, great hot pickup for ByuN. Oh, great hot pickup for Cure, though. God, these guys are so good. ByuN dropping out so the tank would try to fire on the Marines, but then it went for the supply depot, and then the tank of ByuN gets the hit off, and then Cure unsieges and gets into the medevac. Wild, wild plays. Cure coming across with a Liberator now, though. He's going to keep the pressure on, but ByuN's now out on the map. He knows this tank is super low, and some SCVs were coming to repair, but those are now dead SCVs, and actually a cheeky dead Marine as well. ByuN sees the tanks. I think he might have seen that one start sieging up and decided to pull back. He just wants Cure off of his side of the map for now. Cure, though, he is not stopping. He's on 1-1-1. There is no tech. There is no follow-up command center here for Cure. He's just building 1 Marine at a time. He doesn't even have an add-on on that barracks. But it looks like he's going to drop the 3rd CC. He's going to heal up this tank, and he's just going to pull back and defend. ByuN doesn't really have much more, honestly. Was that Liberator get anything done? No. 0 kill Liberator. Cyclone doing a great job here. One thing ByuN does have going for him is Stim is up much earlier. I don't know. Cure honestly might just go for like mech behind this because he has no extra barracks. Kind of missed what happened with this drop, but it looks like the medevac took a bunch of damage, probably from these Vikings. Stim is not quite done yet. But the Marines are now left on their own out here. Left to their own devices. Now, Raven needs to be a little bit careful here. Cure is out on the map. He doesn't have any Raven, so this is a really big deal here. It is just the 1 Raven for ByuN, but he almost has 2 interference matrices, which would be half of Cure's tank count right now. That is a bit of a problem. Also, Stim being done is really important here. It means if Cure chills for a moment with his tanks unsieged in the wrong position, ByuN gets to realize where he's at. He can just Stim and get right on top of this army. There's just not enough support for these tanks. Cure, I think, has the Viking League, but it is very close. Are we going to see an anti-armor missile? We're not going to see anything because the Raven got targeted down, and at the same time, the reason there's no support for those tanks is this drop in the main. Vikings are busy dealing with the front line. However, now ByuN doesn't have any support for his tanks. This is a wild battle here. It looks like ByuN's going to win this fight. But actually, Cure wins with the reinforcements. Very, very close Viking count at this point. However, ByuN has 1-1 on the way. He's got 3 barracks. He's building a bunch of Marines. He is ahead in terms of that Marine production. This is really nice for Cure, but he is going to lose this drop. I don't don't know what that scan is, I guess to see if there's a base here. There is not. This is the third command center. Cure CC is done. It's been running for a while. And he's got to be feeling very happy to see that there's no third here for ByuN. ByuN is up quite a bit of army supply, though, and it's not just the supply. His 1-1 is almost done. His Marines are going to be a lot better than Cure's Marines. Cure does not have very many of them, but Cure makes up for it by having the tank lead. Oh, no, I guess it is even tanks. I guess mostly it's just that they're in a defensive position. Going to be very difficult for ByuN to crack this. ByuN taking his third now behind this, landing it before it's even orbital. He's trying to find a way in, but Cure with that sensor tower should have enough of an idea to be able to defend here. However, ByuN going to take advantage of that army supply lead, and it is pretty much all Marines to try to drop into the natural here. There are some Marines here. The Vikings going to take down one of the medevacs. These Marines are pretty much just going to be stuck, but they're happy to trade with the SCVs, and so many SCVs going to go down. 13 of them dying. Vikings forced to land. ByuN still posturing out here, but Cure should have plenty to deal with it. That's a big hit to Cure's economy, and that was army supply that ByuN was significantly ahead with. So I think he's quite happy to trade that out to take a big, big economic lead. And like if a fourth base is going to be pretty brutal here, actually, as he goes up to 68 SCVs. But ByuN's still ahead in army supply, and remember that 1-1 is already done. His armory, though, is a little bit late. So 2-2 could potentially start at the same time. What is this Cyclone doing? How did this Cyclone get in here? It just waltzed in. That's the word I was trying to say. It waltzed right on in. Does get cleaned up, but just a little bit of damage. Killed a Viking, killed an SCV. Very annoying. At the same time, ByuN is being very annoying here. He's going to siege up on this tank, but it looks like Cure's tank wins that fight. He's just kind of denying this gas. Not really getting too much done. Looks like he's going to back up. Cure going for a counterattack. There is nothing to defend this third right now. Oh my god, ByuN doesn't have any reinforcements out, and he doesn't have a sensor tower yet. He's like, hey, I wonder if there'll be a counterattack. But that is too late. However, the tanks for Cure are left almost completely undefended on the other side of the map, and a lot of them go down. Is it worth it having this counterattack? Oh my god, a lot of SCVs are about to die. Running into the meat grinder of Stim Marines. But ByuN is dropping behind the natural with a siege tank and a bunch of Marines. He's going to get a lot of damage done as well. He needs to, though, because he just lost 23 workers. Oh, and I don't think this tank's going to be long for this world. There's still 4 Marines here, pushing this base away. However, ByuN's rotating around, and Cure has not spotted it. He's too focused trying to deal with this drop, trying to do damage on the other side of the map. And now ByuN's going to push Cure's third away. This is an insane game right now. ByuN is 10 workers up. It looks like he's got a 4th base finished up on location. He's finally going to clean up the rest of this drop. And now it's ByuN in the much better position. He's down a little bit of army supply, but he's got a great spot on this third. Cure's going to go ahead and siege up some Liberators, it looks like, to push this away. The drop has been cleaned up. ByuN shows up with some Vikings, but they're very damaged and not going to be able to do too much. Oh, Cure going to try to jump on top of these siege tanks. 3 of them very low. Only 1 of them was sieged up. And Cure will take all of this out. He's already got the army supply lead, and he is going to take an even bigger advantage in that regard now. He'll retake his third. He's down a bunch of workers, but he's got this 4th base he can go put down. He can build 4 workers at a time. The supplies are actually dead even. And I think Cure should probably push across the map because his advantage is in army right now. But it looks like he's kind of just chilling, and that might give time for ByuN to catch up in that army supply because he has that superior economy. It's also worth noting the upgrades are ByuN favored, now heavily ByuN favored, as that 2-2 finishes up. Cure never started it. I think he had an opportunity, but the game got way too crazy. And ByuN was the only one to start up 2-2. So these Marines of ByuN are going to be a lot stronger than Cure's Marines. Only 1 tank to 3 as well. The tank count pretty negligible. And actually, the tank count not mattering means the Liberators are not that great. Marines kill them so quickly, and they just don't do a lot to a big Marine ball. ByuN does have to be in position, though, to deal with this. So many Marines for Cure. The sensor tower, again, about to finish. The anti-timing here for ByuN is so big. He needs these units here. The SCVs coming off the line once again to fight. However, the rest of ByuN's Marines show up. The tank siege up for Cure, but that's not enough. ByuN pushes this away and takes a huge army supply lead. He lost 22 workers. He's actually losing more because of his Liberator in the main doing damage as well. But the CC stays alive. Cure isn't exactly on the best worker count in the world either, so ByuN might be able to catch back up. And now it's a flipped situation from where we were just a little while ago, where ByuN is way down on workers, but 20 army supply up, and I think he's the one who's going to have to put pressure on now. Cure finally started out +2 attack, but doesn't quite have the money for +2 armor just yet. And again, ByuN's just going to have that advantage. But if he moves towards this 4th base, that is a planetary, and even with 2-2, Marines are not the best against planetaries. They don't kill them super duper quick. I love this from ByuN, though. This is what pulled Cure apart earlier, was going for multi-pronged aggression. He's going to fly straight into this base. There is a turret here, but he should be able to drop these Marines out. That turret not going to get the kill. A siege tank will siege up, but as Cure focuses on that, ByuN finds a nice little spot here, and he is just going to jump on this planetary. Repair is not going to be enough. Turns out Marines are pretty good against planetaries. There's still 3 Marines in the main. They're doing super good here. They're going to target down one SCV, and they don't quite get it. All right, great job. Cure, ByuN unsieges. Cure going to try to jump on top of this, but I think ByuN's Marines are going to win that fight. So Cure backs up to the safety of his tanks. This tank is... It's here. This tank is here, that's for sure. The Liberator is going to make sure it's not there. ByuN decides to pull back. He's still up army supply, but killing 16 SCVs in the 4th base means ByuN's mining is going to be way better than Cure's in a moment. That'll reflect. I mean, he's only 3 workers up, and Cure's mining is still quite efficient, I think, for the amount of workers they have. He's going to float his main over. I think that's the right call here for Cure. You don't want to build that new CC. You know your opponent's got, you know, a better economy. Honestly, ByuN's economy is not that great. He's so Marine heavy. 77 Marines here. And 7 tanks. And 7 medevacs. Oh my god, ByuN. It's coming up all 7s for ByuN right now. He needs to go to the casino. Little Marine tank scuffle here in the middle, but ByuN's got a lot of stuff heading across the map. 16 Marines in those medevacs. There are more siege tanks and a ton more Marines back here for ByuN. Cure needs to be super careful, actually, not to get flanked by that other Marine group. Yeah, ByuN's drop not going particularly well at the moment. The tank on the high ground doing quite a bit. But I feel like if ByuN moved around here and maybe tried to bait Cure into diving in, oh, that could be juicy. ByuN stimps forward to kill the tanks, but the tanks pull back in time. This drop gets pushed away. Cure's still mining a little bit less than ByuN. But again, ByuN's worker count, he kind of stopped building workers for a while here. So he's just at 58. Not really the best, but I guess with the natural and the main pretty much completely mined out, he doesn't really need too much. That main CC is not a planetary, and that is a dead 4th CC. 13 dead SCVs as well. And a lot of those Marines get out of there. 16 of them in those medevacs. And he is just going to hang out up in the corner for a little while. He still has a super powerful army down here. The tank count is even. One thing Cure does have going for him is +2 on those siege tanks. They hit way harder. Oh, man. And the Marines drop back in. The SCVs are like, never mind, we'll go home. And this is 16 +3 attack Marines. They might be able to just kill the CC. Cure, I think he's all in. He's got to go for it, but a big siege up from ByuN. And while this base is in some trouble, I think ByuN is pretty well set up here. The Vikings, too, going to stop Cure from doom dropping in the main. Beautiful positioning. ByuN has killed all but one command center, and I feel like he's just going to kill this one, too. In fact, if he targets it down, that is Cure's only CC. Cure, though, down here kills the orbital of ByuN. He's still putting pressure on this base. In fact, he's going to force it to lift. ByuN does not have any mining now either, but Cure's going to go for the push, and it's just not working into those siege tanks. GG gets called. ByuN takes the 2-0. He takes the short game, and then he takes the long game. 18 minutes, that one.